Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Good. I like that.
10 minutes.
Yeah, I know. Fuck you. What episode is this? 19, 18? I don't know. Fucking know.
18.
18.
A lot of episodes.
Yeah, it actually is a
18
ridiculous amount of episodes. In that, like, I think about it and I'm like, you know, where I was like, now I'm like, that's 19 fucking weeks or 18 weeks or 7. What our fucking number one? Like
18 consistent weeks in a row.
Incorrect.
I've showed up.
That's
okay.
Oh yeah. You know what? We'll say that 18 weeks that you have showed up. I don't know the difference. You know, it was me. I bailed every time. Just hard to get a hold of. Yeah, that is what happened. Right. What the fuck does your shirt say, Swift? What's that on your little titty there?
Nigel's.
Okay, yeah, my brain just immediately. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so you're one of the.
It's a banana place.
Oh, a banana place. Now you said that as if everyone here would go.
Yeah.
Oh, banana! I fucking love going to banana places.
Wait, hold on.
Is it like
what's Nigel's again? What's Nigel's again?
I can't remember. It's a car dealership.
It's a dessert place in Seaside, Florida.
Okay, so you went from a banana place to a dessert place. Two distinctly different places.
There's a banana on the back.
Well, that is true. I do see the word bananas.
Or is it a sun?
There's a lot of
Well, it says Nigel's Bananas, so I'm assuming that is a picture, a banana, you know?
All I know is that Nigel works there. Like the Nigel.
Yeah, the Nigel, yeah. They work at...
That's why I wore it, to represent Nigel.
In Florida, yeah, of course.
Because I loved him the most.
Yeah, so... I don't know about if you love them the most.
No,
you know.
I can't think of a person off the top of my head.
I will fight all of you in the streets. Anyway, Swift, that's actually a good segue. Because, you know, normally I don't bring topics ever to these things. As a matter of fact, I basically have brought 0 topics once again. I wrote one thing down last night. And then we're not even going to talk about that.
What?
I mean, it's just boring. I watched like a bunch of stuff. Sorry, Ethel's texting me, calling me I'm gay right now. That's pretty cool. I get called gay a lot in my normal life. Just in my normal day-to-day life, people like, and they're not doing it in like a like, oh, that's gay Hillary Duff, like 2007 kind of way. They mean it in like I'm just constantly being called a homosexual man by people that are like, no, I'm not kidding. Like, I think that you are a gay man, and I'm just like.
It's like Andy Bernard off The Office, you know, that one episode where there's all the rumors being spread. And I think it's Michael spreading all these fake rumors to cover up a rumor. But one of the rumors he spreads is that Andy's gay. And now Andy hears this rumor and he's like, who told you that? Like he starts naming all these people from his real life that have called him gay. And then he starts questioning whether he's gay or not. That's you.
So the question whether I'm gay or not has not been a thing that has occurred to me yet.
No, we were just talking about that before the podcast.
No,
started.
we were not. That was
you were confused. No. That's why we brought Swift in.
I can't
clarify for you.
That was not at all what the pre.
He started reading scripture.
That's incorrect. None of these things occurred. All right.
And he saved your soul.
He did. He did save my soul. I'm no longer gay now. That's thankfully Swift was here to purge the gayness from me. It just left my body into the ether out there. Now a new gay baby will be born from the gayness removed from my body. Yeah. Well, because that's how gay people are made. It's just every time one gay person dies, their gayness goes into the earth and is spread out. That's why there's like a spectrum of gayness, right? It's like one really gay man might die and make 37 slightly gay children, or you know, 2 gay men might die and make 1 really gay child. So
I don't think I can engage in that.
You definitely should. I
can't. I cannot engage.
That's fair.
I want you to engage in it,
I don't actually. I really think it would be a bad idea.
We'd have so much content.
But, you know, these are thoughts that enter and exit my brain.
Yeah, you should keep those in there.
No, I was just saying, I feel like there is So, the coping mechanism I have is that I think that everyone else is like as creative or as funny as me. They just choose to filter those thoughts. And then the more I talk to people, I realize, no, I just, not only do I not filter the insane shit that goes in my brain, but also people don't have the insane shit that goes through their brain enter their brain usually, you know?
There's a lot of okay adjusted individuals out there.
Yeah, no, it's like, I was thinking of May, right? Like at no point, so a segue into this was, so Nick Mullen talks about this on the old Come Town podcast, which he no longer does, RIP. He talks about, He says one of the most hilarious things that he genuinely believes in his heart of hearts because he's a bad person, but in a good way. You know, in a bad way, but he's funny. So you know, you can forget, like it's sort of like Michael Vick, in that like you can, yeah,
he's funny.
Yes, no, but like he does something that redeems his evil. So like all those dogs that he killed are fine because he's good at football in terms of Michael Vick, but
okay.
Yeah, and then so anyways, Nick Mullen says he's like, yeah, well, because I feel like, you know, everyone has said the N-word at some point, and he's just like convinced in his heart of hearts that like the average person constantly says the N-word in their private life because apparently he does. And
take a poll here. Let's take a poll.
No,
Dylan, you've definitely said
no,
it.
we're not taking a poll here. We're not. This is not. No.
Let's see. This is a good representation of the average.
Okay, no, incorrect. It is. Then he goes and he starts thinking. He's like, well, no, think about it. He's like, no, I don't think that women say the N-word. It's probably just men. And just like, it's like, no, it's just you, dude. Like, and then so when I heard him say that, I just thought about like, I wonder if May has ever said the N-word, or like, I wonder if Spiv for sure definitely has, you know, in her heart of hearts. Yeah. But May, I just don't think that May has ever said the N-word. Like,
I could see it.
You think so? You think there was a time?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Uh-oh.
Like high school May just brought out.
I feel like so when I imagine high school May, I imagine like annoying 12-year-olds that I knew that were like really good at social studies and math, and how much I didn't like them. And that's just what I imagine May as until she's a 35-year-old woman like she currently is.
No, here you go. This is what happened. May is like what you said. I think it's a good.
May is going to love this representation of her saying the N-word. Continue.
Yeah. So you know how there was always those girls in middle school and high school, elementary school that were like the good little girls that never did anything wrong.
May. Yes.
But people always tried to get them to do the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like people would say, "Hey, I'll just say this one time. Just do it." And then they would. There was one time that she gave into peer pressure.
I see.
Just one time.
What a weird thing to peer pressure your friends about. Of all the things in school, like you want to do alcohol, let's stay up late. Say the N-word.
No, say it.
Yeah,
it's pretty normal.
That's what happened.
No, it's not normal. I have never in my life been in this. Oh, I take it back. Actually, I actually have several times. Never mind. But it was
exactly.
But it was always groups of like groups of black friends, and it would just be me as the only white dude. And then she'd be like, "Just say it, just say it," and like no.
Oh, they gave you permission. Why not?
No, it's a trap. Okay, I remember like, dude, I was like 15.
So you don't trust your friends?
No, not at all. No, I thought they were gonna beat the absolute fuck out of me because there was like 4 people I didn't know. But like you just be sitting there, you know, in the garage, you know, hanging out with your friends. They just look over at you, you're playing COD. They just be like, just say it. And you're like, say what? And they're like, you know what I'm trying to get you to say? And you're like, I don't know what's happening at all. And you just had to play dumb until they give up or leave because, you know, you're not going to say it. You're going to get in trouble. All right. But yeah,
and then you go back to Call of Duty and yelling it at all your.
And then you have the party chat going through the speakers, and like 8 other white children that you've killed in Call of Duty are now script. It's insane how much people said the N-word like 10 years ago.
Past tense?
Yes.
Have you played COD recently or any kind of shooter?
No, I haven't. Has it not changed whatsoever?
Oh,
no, yeah, it's changed. They've just grown up.
Yeah.
All the 12-year-olds are now 24, and they're still saying it.
Okay. Because I was going to say, like, back in my day, right, when I was playing Modern Warfare 2, I convinced my dad to buy me Turtle Beaches, dude. Shout out to my dad for buying me Turtle Beaches, all right?
He's a real one.
Unironically, how I grew up to be so good at video games was I was just one of the first people to get on fucking headphones to like sound tour, you know? And oh my fucking god, dude. People would that's the first thing I heard. Did I plug in the little headphones? Just boop, 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 just nonstop, dude. And it was always just like, gee willikers, fellas. Also, is there a reason your mic is like not picking up the first thing you say?
No, it's probably because it's laying upside down on my desk.
Sometimes it does. I agree that sometimes it does, but there are other times where the first, you know, part of your sentence is just, I'm gay, you know, and then.
Well, next week it'll be fixed, hopefully, as long as, you know, they print the part I'm waiting for.
Yeah, okay. Oh, you're like 3D printing it at your office?
Yeah.
Amazing.
But there's like a big backlog of parts that for like actual paying customers.
Yeah.
I see. Of course.
So I get pushed down the queue.
I feel like 3D printers have let me down so much as a technology. Like,
in what way?
So they actually do everything I thought they would do. But I thought that everyone would have one. I thought that like it would be cell phone, 3D
like
printer.
A common household item.
Yeah.
Hey, why?
I don't know. I just thought that everyone would have a need to 3D print something, you know?
It should be because of how easy it is to like just get files for anything and how cheap it is.
Yeah, I feel like society would like genuinely benefit if like we just taught people to like craft stuff that they what the fuck is that face?
What do you have to print all the time? What are you trying to print?
I'm just saying that like if you gave people access to fucking 3D printers and ideas,
what I need examples. Like what am I printing? So, like a cup? Am I printing glasses?
Maybe.
Well, I know you can't print a glass, but like
I probably not. I don't know if the plastic is good to drink out of it. If it gets hot, you might die.
But like, what are you printing? Like forks?
The first thing that well, you wouldn't want to eat with it either. You know, same problem.
Exactly.
The thing that I'm thinking of is like the backs of Xbox controllers, remote covers. Like
no, unironically.
Yes. Like what else?
He's acting like this is insane. Like my mic, my boomstick, is held on with a 3D printed bracket before I like ripped it off the wall, and now I need a new one.
Yeah.
But like a lot of the hangers around, it's just 3D print.
For my pegboard, I'd print a bunch of these little like hanging buckets to put stuff in. You know, there are a lot of things you could 3D print. So what I'm suggesting is just give people the access to creativity, because I feel like when you give people the tools and knowledge to be creative, they define the meta in a new way, right? Where it's like if everyone had a fucking woodworking bench in their garage and like woodworking was like a part of American culture, like every motherfucker would know how to make a shelf, and that are the first solution to everything. It's like, oh, have you tried making a shelf? So that's a good idea. Shit, you blurry motherfucker. What happened there?
Headphone holder. You just 3D print it.
How the fuck does that hold headphones? No, don't make it do that.
You clip it on, and then the headphones sit on here.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. So it's like above you vertical mount.
See, the problem is that we have Amazon.
Sure.
No, this is bitch man.
Okay.
No, so, I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just saying that's why none of this will ever happen.
The perfect example, right? Because he got a new lid for his fish tank, needed some clips to hold the lid in place, right? It was going to take 2 days to get them from Amazon, probably $30 for these.
Instead, over the course of 9 days, he slowly 3D printed something that barely does it.
Over the course of an hour, it was printed out, and there he goes.
Yeah, and it broke within the first 5 minutes, and now after 6 months of development hell and 18 times the cost of buying it off Amazon, he almost has a functioning product.
Listen, I designed it myself, so it's
absolutely fucked.
No shot. We'll see on Monday when he comes back to work.
Wait, why does he need to work?
What about tomorrow?
I'm probably not going to see him tomorrow.
Why?
Because I'm driving for a delivery.
Oh, I see. Dude, I love hot tech. I love delivery days. I've always enjoyed driving.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
guess what I'm delivering?
What is that?
A 3D printed part to a customer.
Okay, well...
Yeah, paying a lot of money.
Yeah. Like, I wonder how fucked your business model would be if, like, everyone had a 3D printer do this. Like, no, just print your shit. Just like...
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like...
They're expensive. They're not, like, crazy expensive.
They're like... They're expensive in the same way that, like, your fucking phone is expensive, but it's like... It's a large upfront cost for an item that you're going to keep for several years.
But even then, you can get them now. Like an FDM printer is like $200.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
like a good resin printer is like $700 Canadian,
which is like $4 USD.
Yeah, so you guys
yeah, hell yeah.
Find the change on the ground, and there you go. You can print all your goods.
Dude, it is actually so funny, like how fucked the skew of like currency exchange is from America to Canada. Like it's obviously nothing as crazy as like a third world country, but like. It is so fucking, because like I'll like buy things for Nigel and that like will be in CAD, and every single time without fail I'll look at the price and just be like, "Whoo, man, like that's way more than I thought it would be." And then I would convert it and I would go, "Oh, they're not a real country. They have no like their dollar is crumbling. Like what the fuck? Like how is this this cheap?"
I remember growing up and shopping in the States because our dollar was at par. Or just like slightly better, and it was like, oh yeah, we just always go grocery shop across the border because it's great. Now we don't.
Yeah, I remember like the euro and stuff, like all just being so much better than the dollar, and then like it finally, dude, America caught up, bro. We fucking got the tech now.
Now, they did self-sabotage a little bit over there in Europe, like, for several years in a row. I'm pretty sure Greece's entire economy, like, crashed.
England
separated.
Oh yeah, well, Greece has always been shit. Like since I was a kid, their like economy's always been exploding. But my favorite tweet that I can recall right now is as soon as the fucking euro like was less than $1, the fucking some dude just immediately tweet like it's soccer now, bitch. All right, shut the fuck up with this football stuff. All right, it's soccer now, you dumb motherfuckers. And I'm like, let's go. Which I mean, all things should be decided by whoever's currency is the best until mine isn't. In which case, you know, there are other things we can use.
What happens when we catch back up?
You know, I just moved the goalpost. What do you mean I'm American? Huh?
Oh, true.
I'll fucking lose. Do you guys know what beet chips are?
Yeah,
sounds like something my wife would eat.
Yeah, they're fucking delicious. They're like all kinds of There's like parsnips.
These chips that like you gave your dad and he beat him really hard.
No,
they're Terra chips.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh,
yes.
those.
They're Terra chips.
They're
yeah.
beet chips.
Okay, yeah, those aren't bad.
Yeah. So the problem is
beet is one flavor out of all of them.
Yes,
by the way.
yes. There's like parsnips and taros. And my point being that I'll eat this entire family-sized bag in like a 35-minute period, right? And then I will vomit uncontrollably that same night, like 4 hours later. And Nigel's very familiar with this because I've had probably 10 bags of beet chips over the course of the last 2 years. And every single time it ends the same way with me vomiting uncontrollably, telling Nigel never let me eat beet chips again. And Nigel says, okay. And then I buy another bag of beet chips because it's been 2 months. And I'm like, there's no way this happens again. and the solution is simple. Just don't eat the entire bag in 35 minutes. Like this bag right here, that's my garbage, but this bag right here, I ate this bag isn't even done, but like it's all crushed and I just don't want to eat the fucking crushed parts.
Oh no, you crush it up a little more and then you just like it becomes like fine sand.
Huh? No. But I ate that bag over the course of like 7 to 8 days, did not vomit uncontrollably, you know? So
you're building up a tolerance.
No, I'm just, you know, not eating fucking like 400 calories of fucking sugar in like a minute.
I used to love those chips. Every time I'd fly from Ottawa back home, like during college, I'd have one of those and a free beer on every flight, and it was perfect.
Nice. Well, why are you getting them for? Why a free beer? How do you get free beer on airplane?
Well,
Canada, dude, everything's free.
Yeah. What do you mean? Do you not get free drinks?
Probably. I'm Mormon, so
you get a free, like, not a beer, you get a free Coke.
Okay.
Oh no, we'd get like a King can. I think it was Steam Whistle. They sponsored the airline, so
you don't get beer on American flights
and wine.
Yeah, even if you did, I wouldn't know, right? Because I'm fucking Mormon. I don't drink.
Yeah, that's fair.
But you could still see like, oh, I could get a free beer.
The little cart
like you're
gets
blind,
pushed down.
Ignorant to the fact that you could get something.
Swift, the cart gets pushed down right by the nice little lady.
Yeah.
And he's like, why are there so many gaps? Why do you have so much room? Why isn't anything there?
Yeah.
Oh, he can't see it. It's
you just can't see it.
It's like there's like a censored image, you know. It's just like nothing there. I'm like, why are all these black bars? What the fuck? I can't drink a black bar, you dumb bitch. And then I fucking punch her in the head as hard as I can. The thought of just like hitting someone as hard as you can for a mild inconvenience is like such a funny concept to me. I don't know why.
Especially if they're women, right?
Hell yeah, brother.
Oh no.
No, just the idea of like you go to like Wendy's or something and like, you know, you order like a large fry and he gives you a medium and you just like look at the medium, you look back at him and he realizes he's made a mistake and now it's like you just here comes the fucking haymaker of a lifetime and he has to dodge it, you know? I don't know why that's funny to me.
I was imagining in the drive-thru more than, so I was imagining reaching out of your car and just like through the window.
You grab the window for leverage and you just pull yourself in with a punch.
Dude, I remember my fucking brother one time. This is a sort of a segue, but we go to Wendy's. He pays for the food, like hands him the card, and then just drives away. And I'm like, Cody, we didn't get our food, and you didn't get your card back. And he like, we just had to go back in the drive-thru, and they just like looked at him like he was fucking retarded. Like, what the fuck was that?
He is.
Like, what? Or like, oh my god. So we would get like every time we get a new car, we tint the windows like as dark as they can get tinted legally. So you can't roll the fucking windows down for a few days, but I love fast food, so I would always go there. And if you open the fucking car door when you're in a drive-thru, they just like think you're gonna rob them and fucking run for their lives. It's like, no, I just want my chicken nuggets, dude.
Yeah, I experience that every winter because you just can't roll your windows down due to ice.
Yeah, that happened to me recently.
Yeah, well, welcome to living north of the parallel.
Yeah, and then Iron taught me a trick. Just put your fucking palm on your window and yank it down.
Oh yes.
That's what I did.
Oh god, I would never.
Not a bad idea.
And then he was like, "Nah, I think it fucks up the car. I don't know if it's a good idea at all. It just worked. I wanted to get Starbucks.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Get what you want. That's the important thing.
it didn't even cross my like caveman brain. Like, yeah, like me can use arm. Me, Iron's like, just
Monkey.
pull down with your hand. I'm like, holy shit. And I'm like, awesome. And he's like, just don't go too far because how the fuck are you gonna get it back up? And I was like, that is a good point.
Meanwhile, you're just pushing it
Yeah.
as far down as it'll
Yeah,
go.
Just straight down.
Yeah, and I drive home. It's just like snowing. I'm just fucking shaking as I drive. I'm glad the winter fucking time is over. Isn't it? Is it spring now? Is it gonna be warm from now on? I don't know how this works at all.
It's gonna be wet for about a month and a half, and it'll be really hot.
Okay,
That's about it.
I fuck with that.
Lots of rain.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because like
I don't know. I don't live as north as you people.
yeah, in Southern California, like the way that it works is that it's like it's hot, and that's the only temperature that it is. And like like once every 2 years, it'll like rain for like 2 weeks straight, and like thousands will die. Like
Now, I love the rain, so I could never live there.
Mhm.
Because like, I wouldn't be able to do it. When we were down there and I saw that Costco with an outdoor eating area,
yeah,
my first thought was, well, you get wet every other day. It just doesn't rain apparently.
no, it doesn't rain. Have you seen Game of Thrones? Do you know
No,
that
never.
fucking okay? Well, there's a scene where the Battle of the Blackwater. There's a bunch of fucking explodey shit that happens.
Boom.
Yeah, and then he's like, Stannis is like, command the men to, we're gonna go ashore and take this city. And he's like, but sir, hundreds will die. And Stannis just looks at him and goes, no, thousands. And I always think of that whenever it rains. Someone's like, hundreds are gonna die. I'm like, no, thousands. I swear to God, bro. Like, you know how in fucking Mario Kart, you remember the banana and your car starts spinning?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, imagine there's thousands of bananas on the highway in that Southern California. And we're talking, like, this isn't like a monsoon. This is like, about half an inch of rain has
Wait.
fallen.
So they're dying because they don't know how to drive.
Yes. They're like
Yeah.
plowing into each other at 95 miles an hour and dying. They're not drowning or anything. This is not a natural disaster. This is literally the hubris of Californians.
That's a really good clarification because you're making it sound like it just rains for 2 weeks, floods are everywhere, everyone's
No.
dying.
Yeah.
No. People are just
Yeah,
retarded.
let me clarify. There isn't enough rain to drown an ant that's falling out of the sky. All right, it just starts raining and the road gets kind of slicked because there's like millions of cars going down these fucking roads, so all the oil is there. When it rains, the fucking water pushes the oil up, so it's like a little extra slippery. And people are like, well, normally I go 85 down this fucking school zone. I'll go 84 today. And they hit a fucking pebble and their car just starts fucking cartwheeling into like a schoolhouse of children. I kid you fucking not. The Illinois, Southern California will fucking verify this. The fatalities when you drive, like it literally becomes like an apocalypse when it starts to rain. And this is like, if you left a cup of water outside, it wouldn't get filled in an hour. That's how little rain is falling. But Californians are just fucking retarded. It's actually infuriating.
I remember, I think it's like a couple weeks ago now, they got dumped on with snow. And I remember watching a few news reports that were like, no, it is a blizzard out there. And it's like a light dusting of snow is falling down. I'm like, oh, that's cute. That's nice.
Like
okay.
not even
they
enough
got like
that,
a centimeter of snow.
Yeah, it's like fucking snow tires are not required, no chains are required. Like it's like your traction
like chaos will happen.
Yes. Like your vehicle's traction has like decreased by like 2%, and and everyone in California has been redlining their vehicles, operating at maximum efficiency. That the second the wind picks up a little bit and they lose like 1% traction, their cars are cartwheeling down the fucking highway. It's insanity, dude.
Just gone.
Like, so I've only ever grown up like in California, so I've only ever really experienced California drivers. So it's like everywhere I'd go out, anytime you travel somewhere, they're like, be careful, like, oh, Texas drivers are crazy. And then you get on the Texas highway and you're like, no, this is fine. This is like, everyone's just being really polite. It's like I used a blinker when he merged. That was crazy. What the fuck was that shit? That was insane. And then, you go back to California and like, there's like literally like, it's that fucking meme where it's like, Like, do I need my blinker to merge like 5 lanes? Good luck, everybody else. And it's like, that's just everyone in California. They're so self-absorbed and in their own fucking world that, like, it's insanity. I can't believe it.
The only place I would put up there to beat California for drivers, based on personal experience, is Guam. And that personal experience is driving with Renobe.
With one man. With a single man.
Oh, gosh.
Listen, Renobe is so funny for what he did to fucking Josh. So, Creamery. So, if people don't realize this, in California, there's something called the HOV lane. And then there's also something called the fucking toll roads, okay?
Yes.
The toll roads are a special HOV lane that's like, you can just go. Nothing's going to stop you. Renobe gets in the fucking toll road, which is just, like, it's adjacent to the fucking regular highway. There's, like, just, like, little, like, plastic barriers that divide it. So, like, people drive over all the time. And so there's just no traffic for Renobe, and he just fucking hauls ass and leaves fucking Creamery behind, whose only direction is, yeah, I'll follow you. And so Creamery is now playing like fucking Initial D, like weaving in and out of traffic, thinking of a fucking Renobe who's just like la 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 la. Yeah.
I remember looking over out the window and just being like, "Huh, there's Creamery's gone. Oh, okay. I hope he knows where we're going." And that was it.
He was so fucking mad. If you bring it up to him now, he'll get so mad because fucking Renobe just left him to fend for him, and Grimmer figured it out. Dude, I could not imagine. So I wasn't there. I was having horrible fucking diarrhea at Jake's house because I ate fucking half a pound of fucking macaroni and cheese with jalapenos in it.
I couldn't believe you were putting that back in the morning. I was like, oh, this is gonna just end horribly.
It was so good. It was the most delicious mac and cheese I've ever had in my entire life. And we're like halfway to the beach, and I just like look over at Jake. I'm like, Jake, we're getting off the highway and we're going to your house because I've got 48 seconds until I have to shit out my asshole all over your car. So you have to figure this out, man. And we make it to his house. I fucking just have the nicest shit of my life. Just like the relief that comes out of you when you like, there's just no more shit left in your body. You've just expelled all of it. You're sweating uncontrollably.
Especially if it's like post you're eating too much dairy. Like, you're cleansed.
Yeah. Well, it's also like, you have to factor in, like, you know, I'm fighting for my fucking life in that car, where it's like, like, how far are we from the fucking
stakes are high.
house? Yeah. Stakes have never been higher, okay? And I made it. You know, there is, like, there's no greater feeling of, like, I imagine that, like, it's like being cured of cancer is right here, and then making it to the bathroom with uncontrollable diarrhea is like neck and neck. That same feeling of euphoria that your brain goes through. You start sobbing. You're like, I fucking made it, dude. I thought I wasn't gonna fucking make it, man. You know, just, is this just me? Am I the only one who experienced
No. It's
well, the thing is here is you experience infinitely more diarrhea, vomit,
so much
things
more
coming out of your body that
shouldn't
be coming out of your body regularly.
Yeah.
So I feel like you have more opportunities to experience this euphoria that you lived in.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm thinking he's chasing the high now.
Yeah, I'm for sure
it's
chasing
like a drug.
Yeah, so I've talked about how, like, in my day-to-day life, I feel like I'm generally, other than when shit abandons me, like an incredibly happy person who's always experiencing new highs, you know, constantly with very little effort. And it's like, yeah, that's because I'm constantly living in a state of fear that I'm gonna shit my pants. So like the smallest wins feel like just, you know, ascending the fucking mountaintop when every second of your life is a fucking desperate life and death struggle for not shitting your pants. So, you know. But despite I feel like I'm gonna curse myself here. I have not shit my pants in years, like probably a decade almost.
Oh, like actually,
yeah. But we've gotten close so many fucking times. We are like, we're talking like Luke's X-wing exiting the Death Star as it explodes levels of closeness. Indiana Jones grabbing the hat, you know. But you know, I feel like my my shitting my pants to how often I almost shit my pants ratio is like insane, where it's like, you know, I'm batting so fucking high. Yeah. The average person in my shoes shitting their pants 8 times a week for sure. No questions asked. Like,
probably.
Yeah. If you put May in my body for 85 minutes, she has shit her pants twice in this podcast. 100%.
The N-word 3 times.
Yeah. And to the N-word 3 times. Exactly. Yeah. I think about it. Cause like, there are people out there that like, You know, when they go take a shit, like there's like a lump of poop that comes out of their ass, and it's just a normal thing. For me, it's like, no, we're gonna vomit out our ass like 3 times a fucking day. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, I kind of can identify with that too, though.
Yeah, it's good. I'm glad I'm not alone here. Okay, we're fucking together.
Diarrhea, brother.
Yeah. Oh, my favorite thing, dude. This will always people always be like, it's your diet. Just fix your diet. It's like, oh, fuck, dude. Like, if only I'd thought of that. If only for months I'd only eaten chicken and rice and still fucking had horrible diarrhea. Oh my god, if only I'd thought of that. Thanks for your input, you dumb motherfucker. I definitely haven't, like, gotten a colonoscopy and, like, been to the fucking doctor and been like, hey, dude, why is my asshole constantly vomiting?
Something is wrong here.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think in people's heads, it's like, all I'm eating is, like, 35 pounds of beet chips a day. It's like, yeah, like, obviously, those times, I completely understand why I'm vomiting and having diarrhea. I'm not mentally retarded, right?
Yeah,
I understand.
You can write off 50% of the time as, like, self-inflicted.
Exactly.
It's the other 50 that's concerning.
Yeah, it's like, hey, like, why is it that when I'm only eating, like, the cleanest meals of all time, my tummy is still like, yeah, I don't go fuck, dude. Couldn't be asked. There's no difference between just pristine cooked chicken and, like, literal diarrhea. So just eat whatever you want. It's like, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Well, in a way, it's freeing, right? Because then now you're at this point in your life. It's like, well, I can just do whatever I want.
Well, I mean,
it's gonna be diarrhea anyways.
Well, no, because you don't want to be like, you don't want to be obese, right? You know.
Well, I didn't say. We're just talking about the diarrhea.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. That's true. It is like, liberating.
That's the liberating.
Yeah. Is there your wife screaming? That's so gross in the background. Go ahead. When was the last time Taylor had diarrhea? Go ahead and get that.
When's the last time Taylor shit her pants?
Diarrhea?
Let's see.
No, you have diarrhea a lot. When's the last time you had it?
Just put her on blast. Oh yeah, I don't, clearly.
She's gonna fall. I see the anger in her eyes. I can't hear her, but I see the anger, the daggers.
She's like, no one wants to hear about y'all's poop.
It's definitely like a weekly thing.
For the record,
May really wants to hear about it.
Yeah, I think that's probably May's favorite part of the podcast. Just anytime I talk about my asshole being fucking blown apart like I'm a fucking war veteran. Yeah, dude, I don't know. Anyway, enough about my asshole. Anyway, Swift, the original question I was going to ask you 32 minutes ago, I need to ask more people this who are on the podcast, because I feel like other people, how do I explain this? Like, I'm fucking out my brain.
Think through it.
Yeah, we're gonna restart this. I feel like other people have a very interesting perspective on, like, how they've met you or interacted with you, if that makes sense. Where it's like, you might, like, I might think of how you think of me, right?
Sure.
But then when you actually say it, I'll be, holy fuck, like, that's not all. So, like, is there a specific moment that you can think of when you and I actually became friends? Like, is there, like, a defining moment? Because I'm very curious about this. Because I have one for Jit. I don't necessarily have one for you. I have, like, a time span that I can think of.
Yeah, let me just do a lot of scrolling here.
All right, yeah. Listen, you scroll, and I'll tell my Jit and you story here. So
I can't wait.
Jit, yours is boring as fuck. There's like there was literally just a conversation that you and I had in Discord once where you were talking about Meowth, the fucking dude that crafted all the fucking Meowth, not the Pokemon.
Yes, no, I know what you're talking about, the leather one.
You understand? Yeah, when you were like, yeah, he was in my guild, and I was like, oh shit, and we started talking, and I remember, like, after that conversation, be like, you know, that Jit guy is a pretty cool guy, you know. And then I also walked away with a completely different impression of how well you knew Runa, because at the time Runa had made it sound like you and her were like fucking old war buddies who had known each other for like ever. It's like, no, you know her for like all of 5 minutes.
Literally, I heard that impression from other people. They were like, well, you're tight with Runa. I'm like, I raided with her for like 2 weeks, and then she told me to come to this guild, and like, we talked during raid, and that was about it. Like, that was the extent of our conversation.
The way that she had framed it, dude, I thought that you guys had, like, known each other pre-WoW, or were at least playing since the beginning of Classic. Turns out no.
No.
I see Swift, like, doom scrolling. What'd you find? Have you found something?
Well, I'm thinking when we played Scavengers.
That was when we... Yeah, that was when...
Oh, wow. That's recent friendship.
Yeah.
No, that was like...
How does it make you feel, though?
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, I know it was definitely a long time ago. I'm just saying, you know,
I just remember reading about that just now.
There's at least a whole year
I gotta
that you guys
scroll
weren't
more.
friends then.
There's a great clip that I have on my Twitch that I always like go back to.
I have to scroll
I'm gonna use it as an outro eventually. It's
keep talking about Odessia and all these.
Oh, I love Odessia. It was me and yeah, Odessia's annoying as fuck. That's why we talk about her.
Called her a retard boomer.
Yeah, because she's a fucking retard boomer that I love. I'm in love with her. She's the love of my life. Anyways, there's a clip I have of it's me and Swift playing Scavengers, and it's like their PvE mode. It was like dog shit, and you had like extract, and I'm like just waiting for the extract, and just like for whatever reason I start poorly singing where I'm like, hold the line, love isn't always on time, and Swift goes, when you sing, it makes my heart want to die, and it just fucking gets me every time. So that'll be an outro eventually. It's on my list of little clips.
The last memory I have of Scavengers is when I couldn't reload anymore. That fun bug. And then I was stuck crouched.
I remember when you were stuck crouched.
And I swear to God, nobody fucking believed me. I was like, no, I just can't uncrouch. It's
Scavengers
impossible.
was so fun when the three of us were playing. That was actually a really enjoyable time.
It's good.
Yeah.
Too bad the game's dead and gone now.
Yeah, I know. Rip, dude.
That's a good game.
It really was. And I feel like small time shooters are always so much more fun than like big AAA titles because like there are just so few hackers that like your skill expression is like so much easier to show. Whereas like I feel like every single AAA fucking shooter is like every third game you're getting in there with a cheater. And I don't mean like aimbot, but like someone is like using like some sort of ESP to fuck with you, and it just triggers the fuck out of me.
I don't think I'll ever go back to like arena, like COD shooter or like Halo shooter.
It's like it sucks. Like until like anti-cheat catches up with cheating, it's fucking lame. And like it's frustrating, because I remember there was like a specific time period where like the amount of cheaters like ramped up. Because I remember I was playing PUBG, and I used to win so fucking much. Where it's like, Neps and I would play, and like anytime we would play, our goal was like, yeah, we'll win 3 games, and once we've won our 3 games for the day, like, well, like we can stop whenever, but we got to hit 3 games, and we couldn't hit the 3rd game. It was like so fucking hard. I was like, dude, it feels like people have just like, 'cause I took a small break for a while, and I came back to it, and it was like, dude, I feel like I have like crumbled skill wise. Like I'm so much worse. I'm not winning these gunfights I'm used to. I feel like my awareness is so low. These people are always catching me slipping. Like, damn, I fucking suck. And then I found there was a replay function. And I started watching the replays to try and learn like, how did I die? I was like, oh, they're just using ESP. Okay, never mind. Like, it's so fucking funny like to go back in PUBG and like rewatch, because like they have the replay system. So you can literally just watch the dude track you through walls from like a mile away.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how it gets you. And it's like, oh, like, this makes so, like, I thought I was just getting fucking outplayed by like these It's like, no, he just literally knew where I was the entire time. Or it's like, the amount of times, like, you'll just get like just beamed by a dude. And then he'll beam your teammate 1 second later. You go back in the replay. It's like, he's beaming you. As soon as you die, he's like, and then it's dead. Yeah. And it's like, oh, okay.
Snaps 80 degrees to the right.
Yeah.
Like, done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was that one, I think I sent you that one I was watching this guy play Super People with his boys. And then it was like, it was really good editing. They're like intercutting between their 3 perspectives. And it's like, you're watching one of their friends and it's like, oh, he's cheating.
Yeah.
Like, he's so obviously fucking cheating. What the fuck?
One of these is not like the other.
Where it's like, and it's like, because, I was like, the more you watch games and like the more you play, it's very obvious what is insane recoil control, and what's just a no recoil script. Because like a no recoil script, your like actual crosshair is always pointed on the fucking dude. Whereas like good recoil control is like CS:GO, where it's like, you're like actually aimed up here, but your bullets are coming out here. And like you're fighting the recoil to like keep your like pattern tight, and you'll just watch a motherfucker play, and it's like, oh yeah, you're just using a no recoil script. Like what the fuck? Like it's so fucking common. And then I used to be super naive, and I didn't think it was like easy as fuck to do. If you just go on YouTube and type in any game followed by ESP, you will find footage of it.
Oh yeah, and like I just saw on TikTok a few of my videos popped up. It was like a tiny little Raspberry Pi stick. And they're just like, it's $10. Order this and plug it in, and you have auto aim for every game on the planet.
Yeah, what the fuck was that thing I sent you? The Zen or some shit?
Oh,
Corvus,
yeah.
Corvo. That one chick uses it. Anyways, Swift, there's like a thing readily available on Amazon that you can just buy that gives you aimbot in any fucking game you want. Or I shouldn't say aimbot, extreme aim assist. So it's like you're not like
that's what a controller was.
it uses a controller, and then it's like so basically you plug your controller into this like gizmo,
A little hub.
yeah, hub. That's way more technical than me saying gizmo. And then you plug this thing into your computer, and you can just go online to their like website and just preload all this stuff. There's fucking no recoil scripts. There's like I forgot what they call it, but it's like an enhanced aim assist where like it just ups what the aim assist does. It's fucking insane. And this YouTuber made a video about it, and then he's like, here's my Amazon affiliate link. I sold, I think he said like 20,000 units of it from one video he made. Apparently it got popularized in Fortnite, and like that's where it like got super popular and everyone uses it now. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, if you ever watch somebody and you're like, man, he's like super good at like controlling his recoil, 9 times out of 10 he's just cheating. Like,
it's actually insane how common and like accepted it is now.
Yep. Oh, dude, and they cope.
It's
like,
not illegal?
Nope.
Oh, then why wouldn't you get it?
Based.
Oh,
I mean,
no, Swift, I hate you.
So to clarify, I'm sure like
I mean,
I know some like so it's just you can't track it. It's the problem.
But if you're I guess like the people that like you couldn't use it in a pro tournament, obviously.
Oh,
that's like,
well.
Like a live pro tournament, like a live one.
Oh, well. What if I told you? So here is the lore behind this thing. All of this is. Why is your wife screaming at you? What'd you do?
Yeah. Are you okay? Are you safe?
Yeah.
She said I was yelling.
Yeah. How fucking dare you scream on my podcast? But yeah. So because PlayStation is dog shit, their fucking DualShock piece of shit controllers wouldn't work at Call of Duty LAN events. So they got a third-party program, these Corvus Zen guys, because originally they haven't been the name of it. It's something Zen, Corvus, something in that realm, Chronos maybe, something like that. I think it's Chronos Zen. You just look it up. I'm sure you'll find it.
Yeah, Chronos Zen.
Yeah. So they brought him into these COD LAN tournaments for PlayStation because this the only way these DualShock controllers would work because there was so much interference around. I think they had like people end up using like Xbox controllers when they play it and all this shit. Well, these pro players now get a bunch of these Chronos Zens and they realize like, hey, wait a minute, you can mod with these. Oh shit! And then suddenly like all of like FaZe and Optic are fucking infected by these like basically free fucking cheat software that's like being licensed by Activision. Activision is fucking suing I think it's Chronos. They're suing somebody and they're citing these like items specifically as like, hey, a lot of our high profile like biggest streamers of our games are using these programs that we feel are cheating, but like what the fuck are we gonna do? Like ban our most popular fucking streamers that like generate all of our revenue for using third-party software? So it's if you like dig deep into it, it's so fucking interesting like how fucked shooters are right now. I don't think that shooters will be in a place where as a legitimate player like you're not gonna be like at a huge disadvantage for like another like 5 years before like AI gets so good that like, you know, that's the solution to this, right? Is like the same AI that makes cheats needs to like detect the cheats as well.
Detect the cheats, yeah.
But
feature
interesting.
Yeah,
I still have to buy it. It's on sale, 44% off on Amazon right now.
There you go.
Yeah, you can use it in your Siege games.
Yeah,
exactly.
100%.
I mean, now that you say that, I'm thinking about people I see play the game sometimes. I'm like, I could see them using the software because some of their recoil control, I'm like, ow.
Yeah, you're sitting there and you're like, dude, like, so like,
I could never do that.
I have one clip on my Twitch that looks like I'm using aimbot. One clip. And that's like, I had a perfect moment in my life across thousands of hours.
Yeah.
And like, I go back and I clip a lot of my kills because I want to like, I save them to like download them. So I've watched like millions of my fucking kills. And it's like, I only have one moment of this, right? Whereas you can go to like so many people and it's like, oh, there's 4,700. Like, you like all day to day, every fucking kill you've gotten is just perfect. Yeah. I have so little faith in people now that if I see someone who I even have like an ounce of like, like that was kind of fishy. If I see it like 2 more times in the same like window of gameplay, I'm like, oh, I just will never believe you're a legit player ever again.
I think a really big issue too is it's not as egregiously obvious anymore. Where like you had the CS, like the source hacks, where you'd spin in place and like shoot in the sky and you get a kill.
Yeah.
Where now it's just like the heavy aim assist is just like the average person who sees a clip on TikTok is like, oh, that guy's just really
what
good.
a great shot.
Yeah,
like he's so good.
Yeah, it's not aimbot where you're snapping onto a motherfucker. It's like you're getting shot, those initial shots on target, and then like the software is doing the rest for you.
Yeah, it takes over.
Yeah.
You just gotta get to like this area, and it'll just snap to their head.
It's fast. No, it's not even snap to their head. It's literally just decent recoil control. Like, I would 100% just go look up random YouTube videos on this fucking thing, and your mind will be blown by like how common it is. There's that one Twitch lady. What's her fucking name? Oh my god, she like used to upload all these clips. She'd be like, yeah, I'm on console. I'm using a controller to do all this shit.
Oh.
And then everyone found out she's using the Chronos Zen. It's like, oh, of course you could of course you could do this. Well, people don't think it's cheating. Like, controllers already have aim assist. You know, it's just making it a little bit better. It's like, go fuck yourself, dude. And it's like, it fascinates me because it's like you can like literally load up like specific ESPs of like, hey, here's like just this one gun. So it's like you're playing legit every time in your streams until you get this one gun, and everyone's like, dude, he's just always popping off with the Type 95, dude. And you put that in his, no one's better.
Or the ACR.
Yeah, it's like he's just the fucking best with it. It's like, no, he's just cheating when he uses it. Because that's the crazy part about this Chronos Zen shit. It's like you can specifically choose what guns these are activated on. There's like a it's not like a dial, but it's like 1 through 10, how much you want to have the aim assist help you out. Like you can dial in specific guns. It's fucking ridiculous. I am so disappointed where shooters are at right now. It frustrates me. Because every time I get turned out in a fucking shooter, now I'm like always suspicious of like, man, what happened here? How'd you cook me so good? And there are often times where I'm just bad and I get fucking dumpstered on. But games with replay systems are so fucking great for like showing you fucking people running ESP and like wall hacks. Because I feel like when people think of cheating, the first thing they think of is aimbot. And it's like, no, that's the most obvious one. That's not what you're going to use if you're like actually serious about like competing and being a cheater and stuff like that. It's like wall hacks are probably your best bet because it's really easy to pretend like you don't have wall hacks on. Another one is just like no recoil scripts. That's probably the safest one because you can just be like, no, bro, I'm just good at the game, dog.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, sure, buddy.
Get better.
Yeah, and to clarify, when I say no recoil scripts, these things aren't as simple as like just taking your like the fucking Y value and cranking it to 0. They're taking it from like 36 to fucking 28, like micro adjustments of like, and it just triggers the fuck out of me. And I wish there was a way to like bring back fair gaming. I fucking miss being able to go in a shooter, get fucking dumpstered on by someone, and be like, yeah, he's just better than me, dude. That guy fucking destroyed me. As opposed to like, how do you know it's coming around that corner? Because like I've got 2 teammates shooting at him from the other side, but he flips around to check this wall, and I'm crouch walking, making 0 sound. Like, I guess he's just got insane game sense, bro. Like
he's got the turtle beaches.
Exactly.
Yeah. You can hear it in stereo.
Dude, I remember getting called a cheater as a kid because I used turtle beaches. Because everyone is back in the day, dude. Everyone used fucking speakers. So like sound whoring, that's a real. People would get mad if they found out you were using headphones. It's like, bro, you're sound whoring. It's like, yeah. And now everyone uses it, so no one gives a fuck. But
yeah, you were the guy that killed me, and I would call you a sound whore.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I would sound whore, and I would get killed by someone like fucking sound whores, dude. They're the worst. But
okay, so I remember I have looked through all of those messages.
Okay.
Because you have a second Discord account, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, because I got locked out of the first one.
Yeah, so I had to look through those as well. I see. Because they also had some things. But I now remember when I started to really like you and become friends with you, it was when we were dealing with Rozic. When he was he was still Rayleigh.
When you're overthrowing the
Okay.
government.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
This
terrorist
is
plot.
This is before that.
Mm-hmm.
This is before he left.
Yeah.
And it's just like you were getting upset with
Yeah.
him, and you were venting to me
Yeah.
for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah. Just mad as fuck. Yeah.
You were like, I guess, because I was pretty neutral about it. I
Yeah.
guess I don't know. But
Yeah.
dealing through all those problems and like getting to know you through that, and then like Mirox and Renan later,
Oh God.
or like any of those events that happened, it was like all those things. Just like it's shared experience builds trust.
Yeah,
is what I like to say.
Yes, I like that. So I feel like how do I put it? I feel like you're the kind of person that I would like to have. Like you're the kind of friend that having a genuine argument with is probably like the least destructive, because I feel like you're the kind of person who like is like super willing to talk about things and like just be introspective. I don't know if that makes sense, but like so for example, like a lot of times, say your friend and anyone who's ever been in Discord with me knows this, because fucking everyone and their mom feels like complaining about everyone else around me. Just everyone, for some people, anytime I'm almost, if it's like there's two people in Discord, that person with no prompting is gonna start going mask off about someone else, and it's like
you're raw. You're not raw.
Yeah, it just happens. And so like in those moments, like they're never the kind of person that like talks about their shit with the person they're mad about, you know? Like, for example, like it's not a good example, because like Jit and I don't actually have arguments that like matter. Like anytime Jit and I are like getting mad, it's because I'm mad that like he pushed the left door instead of like those, and like I'll be like genuinely mad at him in those moments, but it's like I can't be mad about that 5 minutes later. Like what the fuck? Like that's not an actual fundamental issue. But like some people might have so like we're gonna get interpersonal with me and Nigel's relationship. It's like why I think that Nigel and I are as good friends as we are is because there might be an issue between us and we'll just fucking talk about it. And it's like if we do something that pisses off the other person, we'll just talk about it. So like, do you remember forever ago, Jit, when we were playing PUBG with Lalu, and Lalu was like, no, I would never meet any of you in real life and I'll never talk to any of you. And I said,
yep.
Well, then we're not friends. Like, you can't be friends with someone if you would never be willing to hang out with them in real life and you would never be willing to talk out loud to them. Like, that is simply incompatible with human friendship. It is like, objectively, you are going to have a weaker friendship than anyone who just like talks out loud or is willing to meet each other in real life. Lalu got mad as fuck.
Oh yeah, she was tilted.
Lalu sent me some very mean DMs. Granted, I was telling her she was my fucking friend, so you know, sort of makes sense. And then like this is like a few like obviously this is like kind of a bad example because it didn't get resolved until later. But like Nigel and I like had a conversation because apparently like I like super fucking hurt Nigel's feelings when I said that, because I basically said like, no, fuck you, I hate you, Nigel, we'll never be friends. And so we had like a really good conversation about it and we resolved like a lot of our conflict, and like we became so much stronger because we're like willing to have like incredibly gay, vulnerable moments with each other where it's like, hey bro, you hurt my fucking feelings. Here's why you hurt my feelings. Here's what I felt like you were saying and what it made me feel. And then once you get that in the air, you can respond like, hey man, that's my bad, dog. I didn't mean it this way. And then through that very gay conversation, you can have a tighter friendship. And my point being, Swift, that I feel like if you or I did something that genuinely upset the other person, we could very easily have a conversation like, hey man, I was fucked up. I didn't like that. Like, yeah, that's my bad, dog. You know, I was out of line. And there are just certain people in my life that I view with like a lot of emotional maturity. And you're in that even though I think you're a fucking retard, you know, there is like I view you as a very emotionally mature individual who I can who I feel like if I bring up a topic or like a discussion, you're like actually willing to sort of like question your own beliefs and like we'll actually have a conversation. I don't know if that makes sense. Sure. Yeah. My point being that you're cool, dude, you know?
Right guy in his books.
Yeah, an all right guy. Listen, there are a lot of motherfuckers that you can't like have actual conversations with, and all your conversations are like super surface level because like if you delve into it, they might get like super mad, and it's like just not worth having the conversation anymore. So I value anytime I can spend time with someone who it's like, you know, we can have a fucking 35-minute conversation about femboys and like how we feel, you know. It's good shit.
I would love to sit in on that conversation between you two.
No, you wouldn't. It's actually that's a very boring one.
But, no, I doubt it.
I don't know. That's the only note that I actually have for this podcast was talking. It literally just says talking about arguments and like how does this? Do you guys?
Like what real arguing is?
Yes, that is true. Like, well, that's like
arguing.
That's real, like argument resolution is talking about it, right?
Well, I mean, there's also arguing like if you have two different point of views.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
I love what
the sky's blue and someone thinks the sky's red.
It's a very safe one. Okay.
This seems like a really hypothetical argument. Let's go with something more grounded.
Continue, Switch.
Okay.
Let's ignore no. Continue. No, continue. I like the sky one. It's very milk toast. No one can get mad about it.
If someone thinks the sky's blue, someone thinks the sky's red. A real argument is they come together and they discuss why one thinks one thinks the other.
Yeah.
And there's no like animosity.
Yes.
In a true argument.
Yeah.
Because it's like you said, an argument, you go into the argument thinking you might change your mind, you might not. That's not the point. The point is to understand the other person's side better.
Dude,
that's the point.
Thank you. Holy dude, I feel like so many motherfuckers will come into an argument and all they think is I'm right. How am I gonna prove that I'm right? Where it's like oftentimes I'll go and I'll be like, all right, let's hear this motherfucker. Because there have been so many times where I'll be gung ho to argue, and then I'm like 2 seconds in, I'm like, fuck. Well, that's I've already lost this one. This is not. I was wrong, and you just go like, yeah, that's my bad dog. Ooh, I don't
know. That's where you gaslight them into thinking that was your original point, and they just misunderstood you.
Now, here's the problem with that.
Nah.
I feel like 8 out of 10 times that's actually how most arguments start, and then people will get mad, and they'll be like, well, that's not what you said initially. It's like, he's clarifying. Just let him fucking clarify. And they'll just like, they're so hell-bent on being right and beating the fuck out of this straw man that it's like when someone is trying to redefine their point and like sort of explain it better, they just won't let them because it's like, well, no, I've got this easy target that like you don't even believe in that I'm just going to fucking wail into. And sometimes it's fun to do that because it upsets the other person. And like oftentimes, you know.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, like I'm the best person at Devil's Advocate because it's just fun to be the guy that's pissing someone else off. And it's like, I don't believe any of what I'm saying, but you're so invested in this that like, I'm going to continue. And it's, you know.
Like the clock debate or whatever.
Dude, rewatching that footage is so good because I'm like literally the devil on both their shoulders. Like Jit, you wouldn't let Fielding's arguments got a big hole here, Jit, and then you would like say something like Fielding's. Are you gonna let Jit forget about this? It's a little ridiculous. As I'm just like being pissed off and fucking BWL. And my mic was so bad back then. You hear every breath that I'm taking. Like if you rewatch that end clip again, you just hear me heavily breathing as I'm poorly doing my rotation.
Huffing, clicking those keys.
Well, I was also like 100 and like fucking 15 pounds heavier than I am now when I was filming that. So I was, dude, looking at old clips of me in my old house. I'm like, how the fuck was I ever this fat? There's this clip where I'm like making a sandwich, and I swear to God, my gut is sticking out to like right here, and my thighs are like 48 feet wide, and my neck is like, it feels like I just have no neck, so I'm just fat as fuck, and I'm just like, I don't remember being this fat, but like seeing myself on camera, I'm like, how did I ever get laid? Like, how did this happen? I think about it, dude. I had a girl that was like a very attractive young woman who was like obsessed with me at the time and was very mad that I had broken things off. And looking back at me and how fat I was, I want to message her like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Like, I was like, not only am I retarded, I'm a fat retard in this scenario too. Like, what the fuck?
What were the benefits for her?
That's what I'm saying, dude.
You gotta know that.
I always think about that. Like, I get pissed off when women say dumb shit like, well, you were funny. It's like, okay, that's one facet, right? You're not just gonna suck off the fucking first funny dude you see, or else like, I would
Well,
get
the
sucked
funny
off
negates
more.
the retard.
Yeah,
But
that's
you
fair.
need something to negate the other
The
vices.
fatness.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, because I don't know. Maybe I'm just shallow. I feel like women are so much less like. Obviously, there are a lot of women who care about not dating a fat guy, but I feel like there are more women who don't give a fuck about like their boyfriend being like, you know, within a range of fatness, right?
Beauty's so objective.
Yes.
Right? It's like,
yeah.
Very objective.
Some dudes are like, that bitch can be 800 pounds, but as long as her feet are succulent, I'm ready.
exactly.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
But I don't know. I just feel like the range that men have before they like start looking at a woman and go, oh, that's a fat pig. That's not a woman anymore. And where a woman will say like, oh, that's a fat pig. I don't want to fuck that anymore. Is like for men, it's like a 40-pound window. For women, it's like a 240-pound window. And
maybe that says something more about men than it does women.
Oh, I mean that's already like
how many fat men there are. That's what that's saying.
Oh,
that way
really?
more fat men than women.
I thought so. What I thought you were saying was you were going to say that women are just like way more like less focused on the physical appearance of their partners.
I mean, that's probably the redeeming thing you can say, but it's more of like there's just way more fat men.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, 100%.
Women they have to have a wider range because there's just way more fat men.
That's true. Yeah, they're gonna end up with fucking dried up wombs at 25 if they're not fucking. Nothing is funnier to me than like, it's so mean, but obviously women's ovaries do not shrivel up and die at 25, but there are a lot of like
27.
Yeah, 26 and a half. There are a lot of women who are really self-conscious about that stuff and like will get so fucking mad if I say something like that it then inspires me to continue saying things like that. Where it's like, you know, obviously in my heart of hearts, I'm sure that women like into their mid 30s are like fine. Like the chance of actual autism is like increased by like 2% total, you know? But it's fucking hilarious to say a 25-year-old's ovaries are dried up and worthless and then just watch some 26-year-old insecure woman's eyes light up with anger. And she's like, no, that's not true. That's not true. And you're like, then you look at her and you're like, yes, it is. It's very true. Your ovaries are dried. Okay. The reason you're mad is because they're dried up like little raisins in the sun and they just start yelling at you. And it's like, I'm a bad person for this bringing me so much fucking joy, but it's just funny. You know? It's like, when Emma was talking about how like 80-year-old men's like sperm is like worse than like 20-year-old men's sperm, it's like, of course. However, I'm going to argue with you because you're so invested in this and I'm not, that like it's just funny. And she's like linking me studies and shit. And I'm
I was watching that.
Yeah, I opened the study and I'm like reading the abstract and I cut out like one sentence out of like a fucking 6-page abstract and I posted. I'm like, here, like, did you even read the fucking abstract? She's just getting so much more mad. I'm just laughing. Like it's hard. Oh, like harvesting rage is like, that's why I don't get super mad when people bait
you're
me.
A warrior.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, need more rage.
Yeah, it's like, because like oftentimes people will bait me and like try and like get me to be animated and like say some shit to like piss me off, and I never get mad because I'm like, yeah, it's I do this all the time to people. It's fucking fun. I understand why you're doing it. Like, it's great. Like,
Absolute monster.
it's fun, dude. I like riling people up. You know, being silly little guys. So you're on the second floor, right? Right, Swift?
No, the first floor.
First floor. Okay, so that door just goes outside.
Yeah, I think it's open.
Yeah, I saw.
Why is the door open?
That was gonna be my segue.
Oh, the dog's out there.
Okay, is it like a?
Oh no, it's not.
Is it a fenced-in area?
Oh no, the door's open. No, yeah, it's fenced.
Okay, that was my. I was worried that like you were just welcoming potential murderers into your home.
Yeah. Oh, talk to you. Oh, it looked open, but it wasn't.
I see. Okay, it was the optical illusion. I see.
It's because the vent
Kurt was just blowing.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
Sure.
Like
She's gaslighting us.
Probably, but I don't care.
So, I probably shouldn't ask you guys this in case you get murdered, but there are 3 entrances into my house. 0 of them are ever locked, ever. I just don't lock my doors, and it's always been this way since I was a kid. And I was talking to Nigel about it last night, and I was just like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why are your doors never locked?" And I was like, why would I lock them? Like, what? Like, people constantly go into your house without your permission. I'm like, oh yeah, they do.
Do they?
Yeah,
Oh,
all the
yeah.
time.
Yeah, so many
Oh,
strangers.
and there?
Yeah,
Who?
the neighbor kids.
They come into your house?
Yeah, they just walk into my house, like raid my pantry and leave. It's insanity. It's literally insanity. Or like my brother has like made an arrangement with our neighbor that he can just use my car whenever he wants. And it's like, I didn't pay for the car, so I'm not gonna fucking complain. I don't pay for the insurance on it. I don't pay for anything. It's just a car that I can use. So I don't go fuck. But it's just like funny to like, I was like filming a video. It's like, I'll like record videos of my dog and talking to my dog. It sounds Nigel because I'm an insane person, and that's how I keep myself sane is like talking to my dog. And I'm like filming one, and I just like pan up, and I'm like, why is my car driving away? Like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh yeah, like my brother just gave a key to my neighbor, and he just takes my car. My only complaint is that he fucking smokes in my car, and like
that's terrible.
It pisses me the fuck off.
That's a really weird dynamic because now I was similar growing up, never locked doors.
Yeah.
I grew up in a tiny town in rural Texas.
Yeah.
And so most people there like not murderers.
Yeah.
But we never locked our cars, we never
Yep.
locked our house doors.
Yep.
And then Taylor, when she would come visit our family, she's like,
Yeah.
why are y'all locking the doors? It's like a murderer is gonna come in here and kill us.
Hell
And
yeah.
you know, in the end, and so now I live obviously with Taylor, and
Yeah.
I lock the front door when I leave because she'll get mad at me if I don't,
Mm-hmm.
but I really wouldn't. And I don't lock, well, I shouldn't say I don't lock the back, but I don't. And then, and I also am under the opinion that if someone wants to break into your house, it does not matter if you lock the door. They're going to get in your house.
Yeah.
Like they're going to get in. Doesn't matter if you locked it.
Yeah, it's really easy to get in houses too. I don't know, like the not locking your car thing. So I grew up doing like working on like construction sites in Southern California, and a lot of the times like we're working in like the high desert where it's like there's no fucking people around for like fucking 50 miles.
Yeah.
And you just leave your fucking keys in your truck because there's no one else here. Like, and
you just don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, and but unfortunately that habit has stuck with me now. To where I just leave my fucking keys in my car and like go into the store and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, yeah, it's so bad. And like, there have been many girlfriends that just looked at me like I was a fucking insane person. Cause like the worst part too is like I was just so ingrained from work that like I'm not even like hiding it in like the visor. I'm literally like taking the key out and like tossing it on my seat as I like close the door. Plain view, and it looks like a bait car, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, this is a bad habit.
Park it near some bushes.
Similarly, I used to do the same thing. And then, so you know in the winter when it gets cold, you go out and turn your car on, right? To heat it up.
Yeah.
Like that's a normal thing you do when it's really cold outside. And so up until this year, I did that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, luckily this didn't happen to me, but there was this lady that I go to school with and somebody else that I know. Both of their cars were stolen because they had walked outside, turned their car on, and walked back in. 5 minutes later, walked outside, car gone. It's like, all right, well, I guess I'm not gonna do that anymore.
Yeah, Well,
I think it depends on where you live too.
Yeah.
Like, we live in Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville.
There's a lot of thieves or
criminals.
A lot of degens.
Yeah, little degeners.
We got another word for them. Anyone want to guess?
I don't, but I would like you to go ahead and say it. Shit.
Rascals.
Oh, little rapscallions, as I was gonna say.
Now, what did you think I was gonna go out with?
Yeah, Swift. What if you could share with us the thought process that you were going through in the moment when we were saying that?
I thought retards.
Okay, that's pretty good.
I would never say that word.
I would say that constantly. It's a problem. Listen,
my wife hates it.
I hate it. I hate it. It's a fucking hilarious word, but I hate that it's so fucking funny, and I hate that I say it. Okay, I've tried to remove the word retard from my vocabulary, and it just has not worked.
So yeah, it's interesting that you say that because within the past week, I pinged 70 results for that word in our DMs.
Yeah. No, like again, I'm bad. Well, so Destiny has my favorite. He has my this is like our current chat to get this group going. He has my favorite fucking like cope on why the word retard is like okay, but the F slur and other like slurs are bad. He's like, okay, well, like, it's not bad to be gay or to be black, right? But it is a bad thing to be retarded. Like, you don't want to be retarded. And no one but Destiny is like ever willing to openly state and try and defend that take.
Some serious cope.
Because let me tell you, that under any amount of scrutiny, that one starts to fall apart real hard. But it just made me laugh so hard when he said it, and everyone got really mad at him. I was like, ooh. But yeah, retard is a word that I've been trying to remove from my vocabulary. Like the F slur was a big part of my vocabulary in like 2015 until like 2016. Like all before that, just because of the fucking games that I play, it's just everyone called each other. You know,
it was just literally all online gaming was.
Yeah, it was like you pick the F slur or the N word. Those are the only two fucking like those are your personalities on insults.
Can you say idiot?
No, wrong. That's cringe.
God, what?
Yeah, and so you know, I've done a very good job of removing the F slur for the most part from my vocabulary. Like, I don't think I have used it in casual conversation with anyone out with, like, when I say casual conversation, I mean like with just like a complete stranger. Like, I don't think I've said the F slur in like almost a decade. You know,
with a stranger.
With my friends, I've definitely said, like, I think before the show started.
Say, you want to clarify on that?
Yeah, that's why I was trying to choose my word. Yeah, no, listen. Before the show started, I literally said, guys, I have said the F slur too much, but I didn't say the F slur. I said a different word. I said, I'm trying to remove this from my vocabulary. You know, it was a meta conversation. But you know, I've been a very good boy. In terms of like, with strangers and like introducing it to, well, because it's like if you introduce these bad words,
I'm picturing you at the grocery store
randomly, like,
yeah, yeah, but yeah, is that not how you guys interact with people? So my mindset is like your vocabulary is like that's why I don't like get super mad at like big content creators who like don't use certain bad words like publicly when they're streaming and stuff, but like maybe in private they might, you know, say some edgy jokes. I don't really give too much of a fuck about that, because the whole idea is like, if you're a big creator saying it, like, you're sort of introducing that into like the ecosystem of the world. Same thing of like, if you're the kind of person that's like using this kind of language in like unfamiliar friend group settings where it's like maybe Jit invites two friends over and suddenly I'm just dropping these fucking slurs. It's like, you're sort of putting that out there in the world. That's why it's so much worse, I think, to like casually use it, because you're like sort of normalizing it. And the more you casually use language, like the higher chance it is to spread. Because like, look at the Discord, like even our guild friend group, right? Think of like the monkey speak that Awaya has brought, where it's like, you do this now. It took one dude to get like 20 people to start normalizing a type of language. Like, it's not hard to fucking spread like shit takes, basically. So, you know, it's important to be a good boy, especially amongst strangers, because you know you might influence some strangers and they bring it back to their group. I think of it as like a plague, dude. You're like, it's better if the plague is killing your people as opposed to spreading to new villages. I don't know.
You know? Yeah, that makes sense.
That was probably a terrible take. I don't know. But just don't say slurs.
Kill anyone.
Yeah,
don't say slurs.
That's the
keep the plague within your friend group.
No, keep the plague out. No one wants the plague.
I'm gonna change my answer to Swift's answer. I don't know what the fuck I was going for there.
Like, yeah, I would love to kill all my friends.
Yeah,
but just not random people. I don't know.
Yeah, that was probably not my best analogy. My point. Listen, my point being, you know, try not to say slurs. You know, and I'm trying to not say the word retard, but.
I think over the past like 5 years, I've done such a good job of removing that from like any form of casual or sub-casual. It's literally just the guild.
Yeah.
Until I started work with Because, and my boss walks in my office and just starts slinging slurs. I'm like, oh, it's acceptable here, I guess.
Uh-oh.
This is what I need to do for a raise.
Dude. The amount of times the N-word is said in construction is like, I think I heard the N-word twice every single day for like 4 years straight. And like, not even from my coworkers, like just from other people at the job site, just being racist. And it's like there is no joke or attempt at humor. Like they're just being racist. Like there's no attempt at like, it's not like, oh, that was an edgy joke that didn't land. It's like, oh no, he just referred to the superintendent as the N-word, and he is an Asian man. That's not good at all. That's bad. And I felt like it was so inundated in like blue collar work in Southern California that like it just being removed from it now for like 2 years. It's like, I haven't heard someone say the N-word out loud, like vocally, in like 2 years. It's crazy. It used to be so normal. Now it's gone.
Got some blue collar work in Texas.
I think blue collar work anywhere, you will hear it.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, when I worked in manufacturing, the nice, quiet little Mennonite community in my town, they love their slurs.
Oh, no, dude. Those are almost my people. Those are, like, too removed from my... I feel like...
You see Susie walking down the street with her little bonnet and a nice dress.
No.
Meanwhile, she's telling her kids, you stay away from those beep, beep, beep.
Yeah. It's, that's a fucking Mennonites, dude.
Mennonites?
So Mennonite is Kirby's enemy.
I heard Mennonite and I was like,
these Mennonite cosplayers in my hometown.
Yeah, Jid's entire hometown has been taken over. People that just fucking love the bad guy from Kirby.
Yeah,
that's what I heard.
Bad guy.
Yeah,
like,
so
I don't know what Canadians like.
Yeah, are you familiar with Mennonites? I don't know how like. Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah. There are a few other like subgroups, but Mennonites are like the closest to Mormons that I think the average person will like see, and they'll just immediately be like, "Oh, those are Mormons." And it's like, please, dude, no, bro.
Basically the same thing.
Dude.
I will never get over
sometime
driving around my hometown and seeing them in their like flowery dresses, overalls, like they're dressing to the nines. But then I'll see a group of like 3 10-year-olds who are on like the little hoverboard things and like zooming around with an iPad in their hand. Yeah. And it's like, you got to be ultra traditional while just keeping up with the times, and I love it.
Oh, I do like the idea of like an Amish person on a fucking with an iPad somehow.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous, and I wish like I had a dash cam to record it every time.
I know some Amish people are like fine with iPads and shit. Anything with batteries, they're cool with. Like if that's a battery that charges, I can't remember the actual like rules they like adhere to, but like they'll use like power tools and shit. It's fascinating. I think the Amish are cool. And as far as I know, the Amish haven't done anything terrible. They might have, but so because sometimes you'll like see a cool group, you might be like, man, I love this X group, and then someone's like, oh, you didn't know they've just raped like 400 people like last week, and you're like, well, fuck, if I had known that, I wouldn't have said they were cool.
Well, no, then your brand
Nazis. Like when someone's like, I love the Nazis.
Yeah, they're like, I love their little uniforms, and you're like, did you like go to history class? Like, no, it's homeschooled. And you're like, ooh. So, got some bad news.
Their uniforms are pretty base.
Oh yeah, no. Anyone who says that Nazi memorabilia and outfits do not look sick as fuck are retarded. They're just wrong. Like. These fucking dudes spent so much time perfecting, like the Hugo Boss shit just looks cool, dude. I don't tell you, man. Nazi uniforms look sick.
I like the base one. I'm thinking of what was their special forces called?
The Waffen SS. You thinking of the SS?
Waffles?
Or are you thinking of the Secret Police?
Maybe I'm thinking of the Secret Police.
Which is also the SS.
Oh, okay.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
It's called the Secret Police.
There's like the Stromgewehren. That's like their I think that's their paratroopers. I know a lot about World War II. I fucking love World War II. It's like the sickest part. And I always get sad when you get to the end and the fucking Nazis lose, dude. You're like, fuck, man.
No spoilers. I'm not there yet.
Wait, so does that mean that like you can never like Russians because they're always killing people?
I actually don't like the Russians. I think they're cringe. I hate Russia. But also, for the record, I don't like Nazis. I think the Nazis are bad. They're not cool. Listen. I don't root for them in World War II. I'm glad when they lose.
The Russians have
been...
The Russians have been bad ever since Ark. Playing Ark with Russian servers, worst game experience of my life.
So this is actually
a dinosaur game, Ark?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my god, they were the worst.
Chinese people are so much. There's no Chinese people are just the worst.
Oh
Yeah,
no! Once the Chinese like Zergs opened up for like cross server, yeah, of course they're worse.
It's actually insane, by the way, for the record. Like, so it is so weird how like different people are based on their culture. Like, and when I say different, I mean like fundamentally different. Like their lifestyles and their views in the world and like how they interact in gaming communities. So it's like, if you play a survival game, have you ever played StarCraft? Okay, well, the StarCraft
I played RTSs though.
Okay, well, StarCraft has these little guys. They're called the Zerg. Okay.
Oh, I know what those are.
Yeah. So Chinese people are like the human incarnation of the Zergs on any survival game.
That's what's his name? Buzz Lightyear's #1 enemy, Zerg.
That's Zorg, I believe.
No, it's Zerg.
Is it Zerg? Is it
Yeah,
Zerg?
it's Zerg.
Okay, it could be. My point being that like you'll join a game and the Chinese. I love their like the meta at which they adhere to games. So there's this game called Atlas that came out that's like an Ark clone, but set in like a pirate world. So the Chinese had raw numbers, but there's actually a problem if you have raw numbers. You cannot clothe and arm hundreds of people effectively in a survival game. There actually is like a graph where it's like, you know, with 20 people, you know, in your group, you're like at the apex of like, if you start adding 23, there aren't enough resources to effectively arm everyone, right?
Okay.
And they were like way beyond this. So like all they would do is like cut down trees and build like the giant galleys made for like 100 people, and they would sail and they would like, you know, see your shitty ship that isn't like gonna be able to outrun them or whatever the fuck, and they would run into you and they would just jump onto your ship naked, and there would be like fucking 50 of them that would like board your ship. You're like literally fighting like the Flood from Halo.
This is awesome,
dude. I'll show you a video after this podcast. It's one of my favorite videos of all time. The dude like looks over to the left, like over, and they're just like, you know, like, look out, like the Chinese, and you see this giant fucking galley plow into their like little fucking schooner, and they just like they're jumping on like fucking like zombies, like, Wah! And they're all completely naked, and so it's a crew of like 5 people versus like 50, but like the 5 people all have armor and shit, and it's just so fucking funny to watch how like just like the combat tactics of the Chinese. It's all hit and run shit. They're not there to kill you. They're there to go into your boat, take as much of your supplies as they can, and go and just hop back on their ship like fucking zombies. Like they're not there to sink you. They're literally there to rob you and leave. So it's like, you know, like 20 Chinese arrive on the boat. There's like, you know, like their most geared player is like for the like non-Chinese is like immediately just like firing his gun, just dropping the Chinese, and he's like rally to me, like we've got to stop them. And you just see like, it's fucking insane how good their tactics are. Like you just like immediately see like 2 little rat creatures like sprint downstairs. They're not involved in combat whatsoever. Like they're the grabbers for the equipment, and the other 48 are there to like distract them. One dude's like trying to like escape, so he's like crawling up to like the crow's nest. So and like that way he can just like shoot down on them and they can't stop him. But it's like, these 48 NPCs attacking you are a distraction, bro. They're down and below deck taking all your shit, right? The little rats are eating up all your fucking cheese, and you're too busy fighting this big enemy. It's fucking amazing. Or like, I hope I can find these videos, because some of these videos have like 30 views when this game first came out. They had like a glider wingsuit in Atlas, right? Which immediately opens up the window for the greatest heists you'll ever fucking see. There are like fucking 4 like Australian dudes sitting up on this, because like oftentimes Australians also do the Chinese the most, because they're just like they're the best servers for the Chinese to connect to. That aren't
they're on
servers.
the same.
Yeah,
they're on the same.
And so, like these like 4 Australian dudes like sitting up on the coast. They're like, all right, the galley's coming. He's almost in range. And it's like this like massive Chinese war galley. You could paint the fucking sails. So like they have all these like intricate sail designs. It was one of the most amazing concepts of a game I've ever seen in my fucking life. I'm like, all right, now. And they like Batman it. It's pitch black. It's like actually nighttime in the game. So it's actually hard to see. And they're literally like Batman, where like they land on the ship, the Chinese like aren't even aware, and they're like just immediately start like, one dude is like the distraction, right? He just whips out the gat and he starts blasting the Chinese, and like, you know, they got like these drums they're playing of like, we're under attack. It's fucking one of the greatest videos I've ever seen in my entire fucking life, and I hope I can find it, because it was so amazing. Because like they get all the loot, right, and they crawl up the mast as like, it's like have you seen fucking World War Z, where like the zombies are like crawling up the walls of Israel, just falling back? They're like all these Chinese trying to climb the fucking ladders, and they just jump off and fucking like glider back to the land. And it's like, what the fuck did I just watch? And keep in mind, Atlas servers. Atlas was made to be an MMO. It's not like Ark, okay? Imagine the biggest Ark map you can think of. Now times that by 32. That's how big Atlas is per server. Because they would chunk it out into 32 different chunks. And each map, it was... So it's like these Australian dudes fucking hit this Chinese ship and they're out of there. And they're going to go hop on their tiny little schooner and fucking sail off like 6 maps away and never get fucking seen. I'm gonna see if I can find like the old like map updates. Because they used to have some dude would like catalog each server and be like, you know, here's where the Chinese forces have begun to invade. It's like and they're all broken down by like, you know, A1, A2, J3.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you know, J6 through 7 fell. You know, the Australian forces, you know, held out as long as they could, but the Chinese horde is just too much.
Chinese horde.
It was fucking insane. You know, I'm actually we'll on the podcast here, and I'm gonna stream some shit for you guys. I love you all.
I need to see all this.
Farewell.